They're already thinking it. They know. Okay? They know. So I'm going to say, I'm going to underpin my message by that belief. And I'm going to talk to you how I became a believer. First of all, I was raised in a Christian home. And you know my story. I had severe asthma. And when I tell you I almost died every year, that's the truth. I mean, I almost would die. And you know, my mother would pray for me out loud, and I heard her prayers that God would heal me of this. And one night, it was so bad, she called the minister of the church and had him come over. And when he got there, I heard her through the wall. I've told this many times, but she said, I'm sorry for calling you, but I don't think Jerry's going to make it tonight, okay? And so I'm sitting up in bed, pulling for every breath with what energy I had left. And so, anyway, that night, her and the minister prayed for me, and my breathing immediately stopped, and it was free, and it was like I didn't have a problem. And I was so happy because I thought God had healed me, but He had other things in mind. Okay, I got sick again, and then my mother, you know, in her prayers. And you know, the Bible teaches us how to pray, and it says something to the effect that, one, ask and you shall receive, right? Seek and you shall find, knock and it shall be given, and open. One translation says open, one says give. Same thing. It's ask, you know, seek, right? There's three parts. Why didn't God write in the Bible just ask? And most people, their prayers, they just ask, and that's the end of it. They just ask. God, give me a new car. Forget about it, right? Doesn't happen, right? But here's what happened with my mother. She's prayed for God to heal me, and then she, you know, seeked out solutions. She went and asked people, do you know of anything? You know of it? Is there anything I can do? The doctors aren't helping Jerry. You know, she seeked. Okay? And then when she got referrals or she got some knowledge, she then went and knocked. And that led her to nutritional products, which I've told you, cod liver oil. Have you taken a few spoonfuls of cod liver oil right out of the fish? Well, it tastes terrible, you know. And then some liquid vitamins that had no effort to make them taste better. Just liquid, thick vitamins that also taste as equally as bad as cod liver oil. And she made me take them. After one spoonful or two, I didn't want to do it anymore. Okay? But she would say, no, Jerry, come here. Take me in front of this old refrigerator, you know, and open it up and large spoons and take that terrible tasting. You know what, though? See, that was the result of praying, asking, you know, God, please, you know, provide a solution for Jerry. You know, seeking it out and then knocking on the door of someone who says, try this because it helped my son. I don't know how many doors she had to walk through to get that. But then I could, looking back on it at the time, I couldn't follow that. I could only see that connecting the dots that already happened. Okay, but that actually that's when NeoLife started, as we know it today. That's where it started. Because I heard her prayers. She prayed out loud. Okay? And I heard her prayers. I watched her, you know, network around. And I watched her get this stuff and bring it home. And then, later in life, this is from maybe 4 years later or so, I am offered the opportunity of becoming a distributor of some nutritional products. Okay? And that led me. Now, I was a believer. By that time, And you know, people in the community, everybody knew what everybody's doing in that little town of Porterville. We, first of all, if you made a telephone call, everybody knew, because you could hear, if people were not interested in what you were saying, you could hear them hang up. Click, 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 you know. And if it was juicy, you know, nobody would click, you know, they want to hear it. You know, we had switchboard operators that would take your call, plug it in, and it was like, you know, putting it on the radio, okay? So, but anyway, that's led to that. And so then when I became interested, I thought, I can sell these products, and I know they help people. And so that is